What's up, Buffalo Bill fans? Official post-draft video underway here. And again, we always ask ourselves after over a decade of losing how they continually pull us back in. This is how they do it. But what I'm going to talk about in this video is it's been done the right way. And by that I mean the rebuild, even if all this doesn't work, they're going about it the right way. The teams that you see win, consistently win, this is how they start. They build the marriage between the newly hired quarterback, the newly hired head coach, offensive coordinator. They bring in their guys, they purge the roster, they fit guys to tailor guys to what they want to do per se. And if we look at the last time this happened in Buffalo with Gailey, he came in, they gutted the roster, they hung on to the same three quarterbacks that had previously on the roster, and to steal a quote from the great Dennis Green, they were what they thought we were, meaning Edwards, Fitzpatrick, and Braum. You know, two quarterbacks who aren't in the league anymore, and a journeyman backup who could win a few games, but not much of anything else. Was pretty much what he did. They didn't create any kind of competition. They kind of handed guys jobs, drafted guys, waited for them to develop, and they never did. You know, it was like you draft Aaron Williams. Oh, well, he's going to be our starting cornerback. We could just kind of, you know, move guys aside, because this is what we want. It doesn't look like it's that way anymore. And I know I'm speaking pretty early in general, but it doesn't look like it's that way anymore. I mean, even the way they were speaking about Jairus Byrd in the press conference, if he wants to play hardball, we'll just move on at the position. Kelvin Shepherd, a young player that they felt like they needed to upgrade over, that they felt like they might have upgraded over with Alonso, a guy that they didn't feel had the versatility to play in the defense. It's very rare you see a player-for-player trade in the NFL. It was kind of shocking. I know most, like myself, most Bills fans, they have the text alerts, and when I got that, I was like, wow, what the... it's eye-opening. And I think every Bills player should be on that edge in terms of the ones that are holdovers from the last year or so, especially on defense. When you've been on a defense that's given up 430 plus points in 3 straight years, that's that doesn't get any more damning than that. That includes Kyle Williams, that includes Jairus Byrd, included Kelvin Shepherd, Arthur Moats, whoever. There shouldn't be any free passes. And that was their first order of business when they released Barnett, George Wilson, McGee, guys that just kind of aimlessly hung around and didn't do much of anything. Collected a few stats here and there, but nothing spectacular. Offensively, they went out. They got their quarterback. Granted, wasn't the guy predicted. Has nothing to do with anything. I'm on the EJ Manuel let's go bandwagon more than anybody. And things that have happened with other quarterbacks, more particularly Geno Smith in the last few days, has led me to believe that the Bills made the right pick. Walking around, pouting, mad because you didn't get picked first overall or you were the first quarterback taken, firing your agents. It doesn't speak well. It speaks of a guy who sounds like he's entitled. You haven't done anything in the league yet. Manuel came in. The press conference was very impressive. Said he's just gonna let his play do the talking. He's gonna work. He's not gonna say much of anything to start with. He's just gonna get in the playbook, get in the film room, and work. And that's what this is all about. This whole draft is predicated upon the development of him. Nothing more. He succeeds, everybody wins. Period. People keep their jobs, makes us fans happy. End of story. And they did, I must say, an amazing job of finding guys, playmakers to surround him with, aside from what they already had in CJ Spiller, you know, Stevie Johnson. Hopefully we see some more development. That's a key word here, development from TJ Graham. And then the additions of Woods, who's, kind of flying under the radar. I mean, more Bills fans are excited about Derek Rogers than they are Robert Woods, but both of both of those guys. Imagine both of those guys. And then you have, Goodwin, and like Marone said in the press conference, surrounding your guys with playmakers, talking about the West Coast offense. He was talking about instead of a horizontal West Coast, he's talking about a vertical offense, a more down the field type offense. And to me, I think that plays into my ears like something similar to what the Saints were running. You see a lot of those, breeze and shotgun, split backs, three wides. You're going to see a lot of diversity, I think, in this offense. You're going to see a lot of just a lot of different things, and you're going to see a lot of guys get opportunities to make plays, and that's exciting. And I think they have the guys to make plays. We're not going to be sitting around here in September or late August wondering if is Marcus Easley going to develop? Is Donald Jones going to take that next step? No, they're not waiting around for that. Those days are done. Those days are over. They're old. They're tired. So, with that said, it's really exciting time. Even though we're about 4 months out from any kind of real game, it's an exciting time. And having this kid in, with his blend of athleticism, size, speed, arm talent, it's something Marone said excited me in the press conference, the end draft press conference, and I want to replay it for you right now. And I think this is a really important thing that a lot of fans in general kind of forget when it comes to players, drafting players, and coaching in general.
As a coach, I take a lot of pride in developing players. And, at the end of the day, that's what we have to do. We've drafted some players that have some very good skills and it should be able to give them the ability to maybe compete and be very good professional football players. We have players on our team, that have skill, but it's our job as coaches when we have them on the field, to develop them. And I think as a coach, that's what I know I've always taken the most pride in.
And I could have stopped it after the first 5 seconds. As a coach, I take a lot of pride in developing players. Something I have never heard come out of the mouths of Gailey, Jerron, or Malarkey. Something I've never heard before. And it kind of struck me. I'm like, yeah, that does play into this. Because people tend to think you draft a guy like EJ Manuel, you're getting a finished product. No, you're not. No, you're not. You want him to get better and evolve and maturate as a football player, as a quarterback. I don't understand. You get these fans that are so, and even these so-called draft experts, they want to pigeonhole these players and give these draft grades. They haven't played a down of football yet. It's like the most fruitless job I think in the world is being a draft analyst or forecaster or whatever. It really makes not much of any sense, and like I've said before, none of them have drafted a player probably ever in their life. That's neither here nor there, but that to me, what he said was very, very telling and very exciting. Developing this team. It's a very young team developing this quarterback. The fact that they didn't settle for Nassib, the fact that they went out and said, you know what? We have a proven track record. Him and Hackett. We developed a quarterback other teams want. That's going to get drafted. Granted, we got drafted in the 4th round. Some scouts had a 2nd round grade. Some scouts had a 1st round grade. Who knows? Who cares? Whatever they had. But the fact is they did it. And there was a lot of speculation leading up to this draft that they would just sit there and take him at 8. Or take him, period. And they didn't. They said, you know what? Let's go for better. Let's see what we can do with this guy. This more talented guy. bigger athlete, more athletic. Let's see what we can do with him. I like that. No circle of friends, no good old boys club patting each other on the back. It's all too cozy. It was all too cute. There was too many eggs in one basket for my taste. I'm glad that never happened. That would have been very, very, very unpalatable to me. And I'm sure it would have been a lot of other Bills fans. But, with the additions that they made in this draft, the additions that they made on the second day, I think there's some definite guys on that list that can make the team. Keith Poe, I think Derek Rogers is a very strong possibility. And I think Marone is able to. He's suited, and I think he's equipped to handle these guys that have a little bit of edge to them, that these guys that might have had some off the field issues. And let's face it, the NFL, football, life in general, any business, it's a people-oriented business. You're not going to deal with squeaky clean people all the time. You look on every NFL roster, there's guys that have had some sort of issue or some sort of, and I'm not excusing it, and I'm not, saying it's okay, but it happens in life. And you have to learn to live and forget, or, the guy will eventually not be in the league anymore if he can't straighten up. It's just kind of the way it is. And with Rodgers, it's a high reward, low risk. A guy like Toole, a guy that they brought in for a visit, he could make the roster as a third string quarterback. I think they need to make a decision on backup right away, because I believe Manuel needs all the reps he can get. All the reps he can get. He needs reps with the first team, against the first team defense, all the way through. I think this is the quarterback you're going to ride with. This is the guy that's the quarterback of the future. This is the guy Bills fans want to see run out of that tunnel week 1 against the Patriots. End of story. You look at the Atlanta Falcons, Mike Smith, first year. They go out and get Matt Ryan, start that marriage. Quarterback, head coach, same thing. And Jim Harbaugh went out second round. Colin Kaepernick developed him. Second year, boom, got an opportunity. There he is. Joe Flacco, same thing. Harbaugh, first year head coach. They get him. You know what? Here it is. Brought him along. Now look, Super Bowl. It's the way you do it, and that's why I started this video. This rebuild, this refit, if you will, maybe not quite a rebuild. It's being done the right way, and I'm highly optimistic about it. And I hope, and I think most Bills fans are in their heart of hearts. And I think you have no excuse but not to be excited about this. I think there's a lot of positives here, and there's a lot of things to be excited about. There's the hidden gems in this whole thing, like a guy like Pettin. What kind of defense is he going to bring? What kind of defense is he going to bring with Mario, with Alonzo, with maybe Hughes can be a reclamation project. What can he do with a guy like Gilmore? What can he do with a guy like Darius, a guy who seems like he's on the edge of becoming a great player, just didn't have that push? What's he going to do with a guy like that? What's he going to do with a guy like, Moats? Maybe Moats can all of a sudden ascend and be a player. But who knows? Maybe he's not. Now, I think there's a lot of guys that are on this roster right now that are kind of on the hot seat, like Moats. He's been here for a while, hasn't really, he's done a few things, nothing much. It's time to put up or shut up. A guy like Brad Smith, I think he's definitely. Lindell, you draft a kicker, it's pretty much an indication that your time is done. And being the longest tenured Bill, an older Bill, I think it is time to move on. So, Bills fans, I've gone over my time here. I've definitely talked a little bit longer than I have, but it's how excited this team gets me, and I know it gets the rest of you just as excited as me. That's why we all click, and we get along so well, and I really appreciate everybody who follows, comments, texts from time to time, Facebook page, whatever. You guys are great. Thanks for watching.